Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing PB and Jam. Now, this is actually my second attempt at recording it, so I sat down around 9:30 to record this particular puzzle. The title caught my attention. To be fair, the title caught my attention, plus it's a 94% difficulty rated puzzle, rated puzzle, and a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle, so fantastic for the weekend. But I just got very hungry and decided I'm going to go and have breakfast, then come back and record it. Not that it took me 2.5 hours to enjoy breakfast, but hey hom, we're back to actually recording this particular puzzle. So you got Sleuth there enjoying peanut butter and jam. He's actually got a jar of them ready mixed already. I don't know why you would do that. Surely you want to be able to pick which particular jam you want to enjoy with your peanut butter. Strawberry for me. I know that's not necessarily the standard choice for most people though. Anyhow, enough said. Let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule sets. So, peanut butter and jam, and you can see peanut butter, 2 different jams, probably grape, or I guess jelly, as you would call it in the US, and strawberry jam. Pardon me, clearly just haven't finished my meal that far off. Rules-wise, not surprisingly, there's going to be some sandwiches involved, given these numbers at the edges. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, every 3x3 box, that's fairly standard. Sandwiches, we've got numbers outside the grid, give the total sum of the digits that fall between the 1 and the 9 in the clue's row or column. The 1 and 9s act as crusts of the sandwiches, and each sandwich must have a peanut and some jam between its crusts. Otherwise, it wouldn't be peanut butter and jam after all. So let's see if we can come up with an example here. So essentially, I could make, let's say, these 2 cells 1, 9 pair. That's my sandwich crust. The filling between it has to sum up to 26. And I must make sure that the crusts are outside of a bit of jam, bit of peanut, as is standard. Next we have parity peanuts. A peanut separates an odd digit from an even digit. So if this cell here was indeed odd, this would have to be even, such as 2, 4, 6, or 8, to make sure that one side is odd, one side is even of this particular peanut, or parity peanut I should call them. Then we're on to jams. So you have your choice of black currant, so it wasn't grape, or strawberry. Purple jam separates digits that are in a 2 to 1 ratio. So if that cell, for example, was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4, so that they are in a 2 to 1 ratio. One cell is double the other. And pink jam, or strawberry, separates consecutive digits. So if this cell here is a 2, this would have to be 1 or 3, so that they are indeed consecutive. And that's all the rules we have for today. So I know for some of you that this particular puzzle is a bit late for you to be in the morning, but for some of you it would be. So if you are hungry, go and grab yourself a peanut butter sandwich now, and jam of course. And otherwise, if you want to enjoy this particular puzzle rather than eating, link will be in the description down below for you to enjoy as usual. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. There you go. That's what I was after. Right. 35. That's clearly the place to start. I know that these 4 cells are 1 and 9. And I know that because 1 and 9, they add up to 10. And therefore the filling between them will give me exactly 35, which is the request here of this clue. I know that in total the row has 45, of course, because Sudoku says you've got the digits 1 to 9 once each. You add them all up, you will get to 45. Now it's kind of going to ruin it, but traditionally what I do with sandwich puzzles is I color the 1s and 9s red. I color all the cells now that can't be 1 and 9 because I've already placed them in the column. I've already placed them in the row. Obviously not that cell. These are going to be green. They cannot be 1 or 9. Now there was something else about the rule set that I think would allow us to add a bit more green. So let me just... The 1s and 9s act as the crust of the sandwiches. Each sandwich must have a peanut and some jam between its crust. So, for example, look at the 16 clue in row 6. Essentially, I can't have any of these be 1 or 9. If that cell, for example, is 1 or 9, Whichever one I pick as the second, I will either not have peanut butter or I won't have jam. And that's clearly criminal. Right, so row 9 I can do the same. That is clearly green. Nothing in row 7. Row 6 is done. Nothing in row 5. Row 4, just the one cell. Row 3, excuse me. Row 2, these cells. Column 1 is done. Column 2 is done. Column 3, well, that's the peanut. That's the jam. So all of these are green. I can do a bit better, actually, because in essence, I need to include the peanut butter and the jam. So this is clearly the 109. It will probably give me the second 109 because this is not a 35 clue. So if I put it over here, all of the filling would have to be contributing to the sum, and it's not 35. So that's another 19. That's another green. That's another red. I actually know what these two cells at the top are. And remember, 1 plus 9 plus the filling will add up to essentially 10 plus whatever the clue is. So that's 39. These two cells have to add up to 6 to get me to 45. They can't be 1, 5. They are 2, 4. That's even. That'll be odd. Yeah, I'll come back to that. So we did column 3. Column 4, not that it matters actually, because there's no sandwich. Oh yeah, there is. That's the peanut, that's the jam. So it's kind of done already. Nothing in 6. 5, that is at least the filling. And nothing in, 7 and nothing in 8. I'm clearly miscounting things today, so... row 6 actually, since we're here. I say we're here, it's just I spotted it. Where is my 1s and 9s in row 6? Well, if it's not this cell, best case scenario is these two are 1 and 9. But if I do that, that single cell is going to have to add up 16, which is impossible. So this is definitely one of my 19s. And that is going to be green because that couldn't be 19. I need these two cells at least to be part of it, to include peanut butter and jam. 2 cells that add up to 13, quite feasible. 6 and 7, yeah, not a problem. So that could be 109. Yeah, not sure. We can use the same logic that I did for whichever cell that was. I've lost track. Essentially, oh yeah, the 29. That has to be 109 because otherwise I won't include the peanut butter. So that's red. That allows me to color all of these green. In fact, this cell as well, because I've already got 2 in the box, got 2 in the row, got 2 in box 9. These are all greens. It means there's 1 9 pair in here. Chances are one of these is 1 9 to get to the 20, but we'll think about it in a bit. I think that's all I can do for the moment. Right, row 2, 26. If this is not 1 9, well, I mean, it has to be, because I need the peanut butter. So what I was going to talk about is I can't make these, these two being 1 9 and the 26 in here, but it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have been a valid sandwich. That can't be 1 9. Look at the 14 clue in column 7. Essentially, it would mean all of these cells are 14, which is frankly impossible. That's the 1 9. These are all red. Sorry, green. Green, not purple. Red. Excellent. Probably same logic for the 16. Let's have a think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, not going to happen for 14. That's 1 9. Don't think about this as a sandwich. Of course, there's no clue in column 8. So I think that is actually valid. All of these are green. That's green. That's green. These are green as well. These are green. And essentially, we've got 1 9 in here, 1 9 in there. And one of these two cells is 109. So let's think about that for a second. So I think we're going to do some, like the puzzle and the rules are very much pointing us to thinking about parity. And actually, like there's quite a few now of them that I'm spotting. Where I was going with this is essentially the parity peanut is telling us that one of these is odd, one of these is even. You sum them up, they're going to be adding up to an odd digit. So I need another odd digit to be able to get to 109. Sorry, to be able to get to 16, excuse me. So these two are odd. I need another odd digit to be able to get to 16. So let's imagine for a second that this is odd. one, not 1, but 3, 5, 7. It can't be 1 or 9. Now, if this is red, how is that going to work? Because essentially that's a 2-to-1 ratio. That would have to be a 1, and that's not clearly going to be the 2. So I think what I'm saying is that this is part of it. This is red. This is 1 or 9. That's green. And now we've got 3 rows with pairs of 1-9s in them. We'll come back to them in a bit. What do I want to think about now? Right, so I talked about parities, and I can see, I can see this is actually sort of useful. Right, so these two cells, they're consecutive. Again, that means that there's one odd, one even. On aggregate, they are odd. This cell is going to have to be even, so that odd plus even to get to odd. So this would have to be from 2, 4, 6, or 8. Then this, the other side of the peanut butter, would have to be 3, 5, or 7. And this would have to be consecutive and even with 2, 4, 6, or 8. Can't imagine 2 works. 2 and 3 is 5. That would have to be 12. That's nonsense. 3 and 4, that would be 7. That would be 10. That's also nonsense. 4, 5 works. 8, 7 as the other extreme works with 2. So 4, 5 with 8. 8, 7 with 2. Okay. Let's move on. We haven't actually done much with the sandwich glue. So one thing I tend to do, it was Blobs who pointed this out at some point, that you can keep track of which of these clues you've actually used. So the 35, for example, is done. Just putting a little red cross here means I don't have to spend time thinking about it again. That 35 is done. That 29 is done. And essentially, any that doesn't have a red cross on them, I should probably think about their sums for a second. 2 cells that add up to 14, that's got to be 8, 6. This cell with the red jam, strawberry jam, has to be consecutive. That can only be 8. This can only be 9. This can only be 1. This can only be 6. We've got digits finally. Only took us 8.5 minutes. That's 9. That's 1. That's 9. And yeah, there's an avalanche of digits suddenly. 1, 9, 1. Lovely. Where do we go here? So odd. These two have to be odd. If you think about black croquet dots for a second, which is, I guess, what the black currant jam is, the only 2 odd digits are 1, 2, as in pair, are 1, 2, and 3, 6. Since these two have to be odd, this is definitely 3, 6. They are adding up to 9. Now, I need 2 cells that also add up to 9. And they're not 1, 8. They could be 2, 7. They're not 3, 6. And they could be 4, 5. Well, the 2 and 4, they're not here. That's the 2 or 4. So 4 with... Hang on, I don't need to add them up to 9. I need them to add up to 7. 3, 6 is 9, plus 7 to get 16. Excuse me. So that can only be 2 and 5 from the remaining digits. Yeah, 4 is too big, because the 1 is not available. So 2... What am I saying? I'm trying to get to 7. 1, 6 is not available. 3, 4 is not available. It can only be 2, 5. 2, 2, 5. Right. Better. Maybe I haven't quite digested my meal enough to actually be able to think coherently. And remember, these are black croquet dots, and they're not 2s or 3, 6s or 1. They're both a 4, 8 pair. That gives me a 7 in here. These 3 cells, let's just think about them. They need to add up to 14. And I think it's 2, 4, 8. So this is either a 4, 8 pair, in which case it's 12. Then I need a 2. Or it's 2, 4, in which case it's 6, and I need an 8. And this will be, well, 2, 4, 8. This will be, well, this is not 8. This is 2 or 4. This has to be odd, because that's even on this side of that parity peanut. 1, 7, and 9 tells me that this is 3 or 5. 1 and 9 in here gives me this is 3, 5, or 7. What else am I doing? So one other thing that I sort of always look for with croquet dots, or strawberry jams in this case, is you always have to have an even digit and an odd digit. So with 2 and 4 gone, this is either 6 or 8. And then I have another one with the parity in here. Now the 3 can't be on this cell because the 2 and 4, the neighbors, are not available. So the 3 is down here. And then in essence, I either have 6, 7 or 7, 8. So this is 6, 7, 8 with a definite 7. Kind of wondering about the 8. Let's just think about it for a second. In fact, here's better. Here's better. This is a 3. Where does 3 go in this box? And therefore, these are the neighbors. And now I have a quadruple of 2, 3, 4, 8. So that can't be 8. That is 6, 7. That is 3, 8. And therefore, that's not 8. That's 2 or 4. And this is 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Can probably use parities in a bit to try and figure out what's going on in here. So far, I haven't really used the sandwich clues beyond getting the 1s and 9s. I think the 16 we can mark as done. So let's do that. The 11 clue, we've pencil marked it, but we haven't really thought about it. For example, if that's 8, that would be 4. That's 12. That would have to be -1. That's not happening. That's 4. That's 2. That's now 6. And that's 5 to get me to 11. Yeah, Sleuth, come on. Not likely not to use the variant to actually solve it. Very likely not to. 4 in here gives me 8, which gives me 4, which gives me 2. Not a 2 in here. That's a 3, 4 pair. Lovely. Not sure what's going next. Oh, hang on. 8, 3, 8. 8 has to be in one of these two cells now because of just Sudoku. So I'm actually tempted to just clean it up. So possibilities: 8, 7 consecutive, 15, 2 to get to the 17. Other possibilities, the 8 is in here, and then I need 2 cells that add up to 9 plus the 8 to get to 17. So that would be 4, 5. Cleaner, but I mean, not hugely. 26. I'm jumping around the puzzle looking for kind of easy clues. We can also get rid of that one. So like we're doing well. 3 or 4. Can't even tell what the parity is in here. Come on, Sleuth. What's the easy thing that's jumping out at us? Jumping out is maybe a bit of a stretch. We haven't thought about this 20 at all. Let's think about it. So one obvious thing is it can't be these 2 cells because that's 2, not 20. So that is definitely one of the 1-9s. That's red. Now, one possibility, and yeah, I've already discounted it, is that the second 1-9 is down here. Now, 1-9, 1-9, that's 10, plus 20, that's 30. That would mean these 2 cells have to be 15. Only way I can do that, given the 9 is not available, as in 6, 9, would have to be 8, 7. So that would be 8, that would be 7. What about this clue? So that's not 1-9, that is 1-9. These 2s are the 1-9s. That's red. These are red. That's green. Then we have like a checkerboard of 1-9 in here, or X-wing if you want to call it that. 1 can't be 1 anymore because that's consecutive, so that would have to be the 9, that would have to be the 8, that would have to be the 1. We have a 9 in here then. And we have a 1 in here. Okay, and then this 8 has to be next to an odd digit across the Parity Peanut. It's going to stick in my head now. I'm never going to forget Parity Peanuts. You need an odd and even on a strawberry jam. Not 2, not 6, not 8. So it has to be a 4. So essentially 3, 4, 5 with a definite 4. That can't be a 4 anymore. That's 3, that's 4. Can't be a 3. Sleuth, pay attention. That's 3, 6. So this is 1, 7. These 2 cells are also known. They are 2, 6, I'm going to say. Where does 8 go? It can only be in here. Where does 6 go? It's not there. That's 2, that's 6, that's 3. These two cells, well, actually, we don't know which one is red with the 1. 3 cells that are known. Let's just pencil mark them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, I'm going to say. Not very helpful. Actually, yes, is helpful. Next to the black crop dot, that can only be a 4, not 5. Otherwise, that's 2.5 or 10. 7, kind of similar challenge. Right, let's think about this 16 since we have a clue. Option A is that this is an 8, and this is 12, and then these two cells have to add up to 4 plus the 12 to get to 16. It would have to be 1, 3, which is impossible. So that's a 2. That gives me 8 all the way down here. Makes this a 4, 5 pair, which we already knew because of that 8. And then I've got 6. These two cells have to add up to 10. And they have to be odd because, again, parity peanut. And it's not 1 or 9, it's 3, 5, 7. And it can't be a 5, otherwise that would be a second 5. So this is a 3, 7 pair to add up to 10 plus the 6 to 16. That's another sandwich clue done. I think that's the 17 done. We can actually very quickly do the 13 whilst we're at it. That's 7. That's got to be 6 to get to 13. That's done. 20. If that's 3, that's 11. That would have to be 9 to get to 20. So that's 7. That's 15. That's 5. That would get me to 20. That's 4. That's 5. That's 20 done. I think that's nearly. I was going to say that's all of them done. That's not true. Let's just have a think about this 26 and then we'll move on. Right, so 26 plus the 9, the 1 and 9, that's 36. These two cells have to add up to 9. Not 1, 8, not 2, 7, and not 4, 5. This is a 3, 6 pair. And it looks like an unresolved 3, 6 pair. Of course it is. But that does mean that 26 sandwich clue is done. That's all the sandwich clues done. In here we have a black crop dot that is got a 2 or 4, but it's not a 2. This is 4, 8. Probably resolved if I pay attention to some Sudoku. Yes, 8, 4, 8. Yeah, 5, 5, 4. What are these cells? 6 and 9? Not resolved. Am I resolving these? There's got to be something in here. This is not 5. Let's think about what these are. So again, needs an even digit. It's not 4, 8, or 6. It's got to be a 2. And the 2, well, it's in here. This would have to be 1 or 3. It's not a 1. That's 3. That's 7. I'm sure that will help us unwind whatever's going on in the columns in a second. 6. 7, yep. 1, 7, 9, 1, 9, 6. 3, 6. Excellent. May as well. And that's all the 1s and 9s done. Should be pretty much on the home stretch now, unless I've done some crazy Sudokus. 6, 3, 6. I've basically done all the pencil marks now. Right, let's just quickly finish this up. That 7 can only be in here. This is a 5. We need 4, which can only be in there, and then 5. Then I need an 8, which can only be in here. No, I don't need an 8. I need a 2, and I need a 6. That's the 6, that's the 2. I need a 3 and a 7. That's the 7, that's the 3. We know what this is. I think it's just too colorful. I'm struggling to scan it. 2. Need 3. Need 8. Need 5. Then I need 7. What else am I missing? I mean, let's put 7. What am I missing? 8. So if I've not made any mistakes, that's an 8 for the finish. Fantastic puzzle, bearded fool. Fantastic puzzle. Like I am feeling quite full, but otherwise I would have probably thought about a peanut butter sandwich right now. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. puzzle video. See you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.